Oh my gosh, Becky, look. Hey, oh my gosh, I pressed it too early. That's my bad, but that's okay. It's Shannon Barney. Y'all, what's up, girl?
Hello. How are you, Miss Alex?
I'm doing fantastic. I can't complain. I'm sitting here with one of the best managers, arguably potentially manager of the year, by my side. Help me judge some of your own competitors for this episode of Schmoebates. Thanks so much for coming out with us. Yeah.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. This is going to be very strange to have to decide between two of my favorites here. Oh.
It's like picking a favorite child sometimes, is it not?
Not fair. It's not right, but I'm doing it anyway.
Not kidding. It's well, you're used to obviously going to town for your faction mates and everything with a match, but now you're going to be judging your competitors in a corruption themed Schmoebates. So is that going to be a little bit different versus what you've done before with Schmoedown, obviously?
Oh, totally. I'm used to projecting everything onto other people.
Yes,
that's the easy part. Now I have to take the microscope to two of my own people and figure out who I like better in this discussion, and that is not a place where I want to be. Totally different, but I'm excited. It should be fun. You got two great guys on here, and they're going to be interesting.
Absolutely. Well, if you guys aren't familiar with Schmoebates or anything along those lines, well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew, and you're here with us to watch some amazing people debate Schmoedown. On Schmoebates is a Schmoedown-themed debate show where we argue and debate to the death on all things weird and delightful in Schmoedown. Shannon Barney is going to be my co-host today. We also have a secret ghost judge that's going to be revealed at the end of the episode, and we have two really great competitors as well. Let's go ahead and introduce them. The first one, he is a really fantastic team member from arguably the best Schmoedown team we've ever seen, which is Team Korruption, obviously. It's Chance Ellison. What's up,
hello. Yeah, no, it's been a while since I've done one of these. It's good to be back. Good to be back.
Well, you're no stranger to debating. I know you've debated many a time here, on Schmoebates. So I'm excited to see you participate in this new format. Excited?
Yes, many a one time that I've done this show. Yes, I'm ready.
For sure. Fantastic. Well, you're going to be going up against one of our other competitors, definitely a rising star within Schmoedown, but also one of the best new rookies in Schmoedown today. It is Miss Marisol McKee. How's it going, girl?
There she is.
Hello, everybody. It's going great.
Are you there sitting in the corruption dungeon situation, in the training situation basement?
Yes, we have many of these. This is one of our undisclosed locations. We got a lot. This is my den. This is my hangout. My den, my dungeon.
I feel like we're low key.
We didn't tell Marisol yet that this is part of the initiation process. So
yeah. It's been a rough 48 hours. Yeah.
A little corruption hazing, doesn't hurt nobody. Absolutely. A little team bonding, right? Faction bonding, for sure.
It hurts a little bit, but it's not too bad. Everyone recovers.
Yes, absolutely. Only if they're skilled enough to survive, at least. Yes, they got to be good enough for the gang.
As long as there are no goats, I'm good. Yeah.
Unless you guys will end up being the goats, for sure. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We have our two competitors. We have my co-host, and again, we're gonna have our ghost judge. Come on. Very much later at the end of the session. Now, let me just go ahead and tell you what Schmoebates is all about with the rules. Really fast. 3 questions will be debated tonight between these competitors, with the winner being determined by the guest host and the ghost judge. If there is a tie, the audience vote serves as the tiebreaker. Jake, part of C2A will be providing a link in the chat, so definitely be ready to go. But the round format is there can be 60 seconds of open statements, followed by 4 minutes of open debate, and a 60-second closing statement from each of our competitors. competitors. The final round order is determined by the host flipping an action coin. I have it ready to go. With team, we have Team Bateman and Team Guy on each side. The winner must win at least 2 of the 3 rounds to be declared the winner, and each competitor has 1 30-second of uninterrupted time extension they can use at any point during the debates. You can totally use it or not use it. It's totally up to you. Okay, guys, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
All right, we have our questions. We're going to be starting with question number 1. And Shannon, will you please do the honors?
Absolutely, love. Question number 1. What faction manager is Shannon, that's me, most likely to form an alliance?
Yes. We've always talked about how there could be alliances between different managers in order to kind of sweep tournaments and all that good stuff. So I'm excited to see what y'all's arguments are going to be. We'll be starting with Chance for this one with the opening statement. Are you ready for your opening statement, Chance?
Mm-hmm.
1 minute on the clock, starting now.
So right off the bat, I think this question is flawed because I don't think Shannon would share the spotlight with anybody. That's first of all. Second of all, if she did, though, I think the only real candidate is the one, the only, Tom Dagnino, Bobby Gucci, Finstock, whatever his name is next week, because the government's cracking down on tax evasion once again. I think of any manager in the Schmoedown, I think not only would him and Shannon work the best, I think that is the most symbiotic relationship you can come up with out of any manager and any manager-manager combo in this thing. So, Tom Dagnino, and I see the rest of my time.
All right, remaining 20 seconds. Okay, ceasing. Perfect. Okay, so you chose Tom Dagnino of the Finstock Exchange. Good to know. And over to our lovely Marisol. Are you ready for your opening statement?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You have 1 minute starting now.
All right. So what faction manager? I think that's fair. What Chance? Well, let me just leave my opening. Okay. So for me, there is only one choice. There's only one choice in what faction manager Shannon would most likely to form an alliance with. And that's somebody who understands what corruption is about from the beginning and who was there in its origins, which is Ken Knapsack. And I think that he understands, like I said. I think that he gets it. He was the first person, he was one of the first people to manage corruption. So if anybody understands what they are truly about, I think it's Ken.
10 seconds.
That's my opening statement. Just gonna leave it
okay. 5 seconds remaining and yielding the rest of the time. All right, risky. I'm digging it. So Dagnino versus Ken Knapsack. Oh my gosh. What do you think of these picks, Shannon?
Wow. A little unexpected, especially from you, Chance. I did not see that one coming.
I'll explain.
You caught me off guard here. I think these are both really solid picks. I'm very excited to hear the next round, to let you guys dig in a little more and tell me why. The why behind the who.
Absolutely. The why behind the who. Yes, I love that. Put it simply, for sure. Also, there's obviously a history with both of these managers, with the faction, with Shannon as well. So I'm excited for you to kind of dive into that. You guys do have 4 minutes on the clock to really elaborate on it, really poke holes in each other's arguments as well. But we're excited to see it go down. You guys have 4 minutes starting now.
So the reason I went with Tom Dagnino is because what has he demonstrated he's failed to do this season? He has failed to get his players in line. You know who has not failed to get her players in line? Shannon. If Shannon says jump, all of us say how high. So I think that the Finstock Exchange is a giant ego factory, and Tom cannot rein them in. So what do? You bring in the queen, whip those boys into shape. Maybe they'll learn to stop losing at some point.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Oh, you're just cutting.
Marisol?
I was going to say something.
No. Okay. That's interesting to go the opposite route that Dagnino needs Shannon. Therefore they would be a good fit.
He does.
Well, I don't think that's in Shannon's best interest. I just don't.
Why? Managing people who are like several time champions back to like their former glory. I think that'd be a good notch for Shannon to have on a managerial belt. Not that she needs any more notches, but hey, if she manages to get John Roca out of a rut or Mark Riley out of a rut, then I think they'll look good on her resume.
That could, but Shannon is also excelling here, as we're witnessing. We already knew what she can do with players who are already very capable. You should understand that. She can already do that, and so we don't need any like further proof of where she could take people who are already superstars. And on the plus side, she's already taking people who may not be superstars yet. So I think that works in her advantage. I just don't think Dagnino has a lot to offer her there. Ken, on the other side, I think it ties back to what I said in the beginning. Ken is a kindred spirit. He understands what this faction is about, and that's the foundation that you need for a good partnership.
Yeah, the thing is, as someone who worked under Ken for about a year and a half, I think Mike and I got everything we could out of Ken. He was great, but we did fire him for a reason, because he could not get the job done when the time came. Who is getting the job done? Shannon. She's getting the job done, and Dagnino's having trouble getting the job done. So I think that Shannon's gonna be like, "Look, Dagnino, you're clearly not fit to do this whole managerial thing by yourself." Not to mention, when was Dagnino at his most like winning era? It's when he was with Grace, which demonstrates that he can in fact play well with others. So I do think that the combination between him and Shannon will be a good 1-2 punch, and you hear that. Like, imagine if you had me, Mike, Merle, Bateman, Roca, Riley, and you, Marisol, all under the same umbrella. People they wouldn't even want to play us. They would just like leave the stadium the second we walked in the room.
Okay, all right. So you're trying to look at the power the power hitters that are already in the roster. I'm looking again for foundations here, and Ken is kind of scrabbling. Like he got thrown this faction. It's not even his. It's still got a name that he might not necessarily believe in. It might not be going to a place that he necessarily believes in. He's just trying to catch a paycheck in at this point, and he needs somebody to remind him. All right, he is a prime opportunity for somebody to tap into his untapped potential as a manager that he didn't have before, but has a common ground and can take him to the next level. And linking back up with Shannon is a way to just ignite the fullest potential.
Yeah, but in the same way that you said Dagnino has like more to gain than Shannon does in that relationship, I feel like Ken has way more to gain than Shannon. What am I trying to say? It'd be more beneficial to Ken in the sense that you said that to partner with Shannon would be more beneficial to
time.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Sorry.
Wow.
I realized I forgot I muted myself. Right? Okay. All right, that wraps up our open debate segment for our first question. And it sounded like overall, like you said with Marisol, you talked about how Ken is much more of a kindred spirit. He directly ties in with the origins of the Korruption faction versus with Dagnino, he is lacking some leadership abilities right now, since he hasn't been able to really get a win in his faction in a hot minute, and therefore someone like Shannon can really help whip some of their competitors into shape. Is that what I'm hearing? Essentially,
you're talking to me? Yes. That is what you're hearing. Correct.
Yes,
I concur.
All right. Well, Shannon. Oh, I concur. Yeah. Shannon. So, what do you think about some of these thoughts going on so far?
I think there's so many great points on either side of this. It just depends on which way you're looking at it. It sounds like they can agree that both of these people need my help, and I don't disagree with that. But it's a matter of, do we go with our truth and our destiny and our origins, or do we team up with something new and exciting and see how it goes? I think that there are certainly pros and cons to each of these selections. I think that both of you guys have thought these out very well and have made incredibly compelling arguments that are going to be really tough to judge. I'm just mind blown that this is only question 1 and we still have 2 more to go, because this is going to be impossible. You guys are
no pressure.
Cool. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not on fire.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm loving what both of you guys are saying, and it's giving me 2 very, very different pieces of my brain to work with, and it's tugging at my heartstrings too, because I do like a good tradition, but I do like experimenting with new stuff, and it's just my head is all over the place. I don't know. I'm very excited to hear these closing arguments and these rebuttals and get this one nailed down.
Well, what I want to hear from each of you in the closing statement specifically, I would love for you to kind of dive into 1 or 2 specific examples of what Shannon would gain from these for these potential alliances. How would it benefit Korruption as a faction? How would it benefit Shannon as a faction manager specifically? Because you guys have talked about how the other managers would benefit, taking on, that kind of partnership. But what would Shannon get out of that deal? Okay. Since we started with this one, we're going to be ending with Chance as well for this closing statement. You also have 1 minute on the clock to address any of our concerns. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
To reiterate your argument, you say Tom would have more to gain than Shannon would in that relationship. Well, as opposed to Ken. Ken would have way, way more to gain than Tom would. So that's even more one-sided partnership right there. Not to mention, we've seen Ken with Korruption. Like we saw it for 2 seasons. Like fans know what to expect with there. Whereas Tom and Shannon, that's something that will be just absolutely mind-blowing. And think of everything that could happen. Think of like the giant group think we could form. Think of like everything we could do, like interaction with like scenes. Like think like you could have like a comment like Adam the Barbarian could have a scene. Mike and me could have a chance to break bread with Founding Fathers finally, so we can stop playing them. I think that's. And also just like the sum total of knowledge between everybody on those collective squads. Not only will it improve the season players, considering all the rookies both teams have, it will improve every single person on every single squad.
And time. Yes. Okay. So definitely address some of my concerns. Absolutely. And I would love the ideas for some of those potential cutscenes for sure. I love those stuff going on. All right. And over to Marisol. Are you ready for your closing statement?
Sure.
All right. Let's get it, girl. You got 1 minute starting now.
Okay. So Shannon has an opportunity here to link up with the past, or she has an opportunity to link up with potential for the future. And there's a lot of potential, all right, on the Droogs. There's a lot of potential that we haven't tapped into. There's a lot of immensely knowledgeable players that can now take it to the next level and just need to get fleshed out, like a Duralde or Whitney, like Cybold. And then you've got Jader on there as well. So there's a lot of potential. So why there's too much potential, and that combined with what we already have, some quality of veterans at the top, and we all know that there's big debates as whether it's this time or not for the Founding Fathers, whether reaching the end. I don't think it's in Shannon's interest to be a best part to bring on weight from the past when she has too much potential to the future. All right.
And time. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. It's hurting my heart to say this, Shannon, but, would you ever be okay with aligning potentially with another manager overall? Is this like...
No, you wouldn't.
It would be hard.
It's not.
I know the answer. No, she wouldn't.
It's not something that anyone should anticipate. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, not kidding for sure. Okay, so you guys heard the opening statements, the debate, and the closing statements. Now we are going to wait a few minutes or a few seconds, however long it takes. Shannon and our ghost judge are going to be chatting in the private chat I set up to let us know who they think is the winner of this debate. And again, also Jake Yakubeta, my boy, our man over here, has the link ready to go. Now, if they decide that they have differing opinions on who wins that round, then it's going to go to you guys, the audience, to let us know who you guys think should win this debate as well. So definitely go vote, hit that link, and please make your vote specifically to the debate itself, not based on who you think is cooler, just because Marisol has a beautiful face and an awesome, cool person all around, or if Chance is also, he has a beautiful face and awesome, cool person to hang around. Whatever we want to vote specifically on the debate itself, not because of, how awesome they are individually. Overall, I'm just like low-key fangirling the entire time over there. Yeah. Okay. Real quickly, Chance, I gotta know.
Yeah. I
gotta know, honestly. How did it feel like walking away from, that team championship match the other day?
It felt great. And honestly, really did, because we worked really hard. We wanted it. And that was like our main priority at the beginning of the year. And so for Mike and I to just go out and just be the best team we could be against one of the other best teams in the league, it's crazy. I think Mike said it best. We were fairly relaxed in that one, but we know not relaxed to the point where we're like, we don't care about the match, because we did. And yeah, we knew we had to get the win, and we did it. Now we're waiting on our belts.
Not kidding. Are you Marisol? Are you going to take a Chance's lead and do the whole I concur, in the future for all matches? I think you should. I totally think it should be like a faction thing. I concur.
Yeah, I can channel my inner Karate Kid, for sure.
Now that you know the reference, now that you're going to see Karate Kid. Shannon,
like,
did you know
she doesn't see the movie.
Karate Kid?
I
understand it in spirit. Alex guided me. All right. I completely understand it in spirit. No, I mean that's I think I will have my own methods. I can't piggyback off of Chance's very zen-like, very, very, very zen-like modes of focus. But I marvel at them. I do, for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I always know like shit's about to go down when I see Chance do his series. Like, oh.
It's like
it's about to get real.
Where's that from, Chance? What's the history of this?
Yeah. Where did this
I used to be a martial artist, so like when it came to keep my hands on screen, I'm not gonna do like the hands up, don't shoot, the Ricky Bobby hands don't do it for me. So I'm just like, what feels comfortable? It's this.
I dig.
So I'm just like, yeah.
People
and
make fun of it, but I think it's great.
And I don't care how people make fun of it. Like, make fun of it all you want. At least I'm not cheating.
That's right.
That's true.
What kind of martial arts, Chance?
The Tai Chi.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I love that.
Cool.
Finding that center chi, for sure.
I dabbled a little bit in karate myself. So
Nice.
So we should spar. That's what I'm trying to say.
Is that it? We
should end this polite little debate of words. Yes.
Are we fighting for the signing spot next season?
Oh. I mean, we can go.
Okay, fine.
I'd be here for it. I'm here for it, for sure. Right now we are just waiting for we're waiting on our ghost judge to help make their decision as well. I can tell there's a little bit of they're not entirely sure who to vote for on this one. They're still trying to figure that out. But yeah, still waiting on them. Now, real quickly as well, Marisol, like you had your debut match against Bonnie, and obviously that was like one of the best rookie matches we've seen, period, all around. Like, did you cry before or after the match? Like, I know I would have been like, my girl, Marisol, she worked so hard. She deserves it. She's so cool.
I mean, I maybe like a little like internal tears of joy at the end, just because of Schmoedown, just because I was just so overwhelmed. Not necessarily for like winning, which was cool, but just to finally be a part of Schmoedown. That was really awesome. That really touched me. Yeah.
I do not blame you, for sure.
So glad you're-
Especially if they're training so hard for school. Okay, now both our judges are in agreement. The winner of this debate, it goes to Chance Ellison. So you won this round of debate, so congratulations. We are going to be going to our second round here in just a hot second. And I did read a super chat a little bit ago. Thank you to Ross Brista, who says, Shannon, please don't bash my favorite book, Hook.
Favorite movie, Hook?
Do you not like the book Hook? Movie Hook?
Me?
Yeah.
I maybe have only seen it once, and I couldn't care less about it either way.
You're not missing much.
I will.
It does not hold up.
Hook gets the benefit of the doubt.
I haven't seen it. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me that movie in particular has such a divisive fandom, and I don't get it. Like it's fine. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. But some people really love it or really hate it. It's just like, why? Like,
I don't hate it. I think it's bad. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten unfairly like people are just kind of like, and it's just gone to the extreme. People have been like, no, it sucks. Like, you know, which I don't think it does.
That's a lot of rage for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to be going out to the second question. Congratulations to Chance. And here on out, I'm not going to announce the winners. I just want to give you guys a heads up until the very end. I just want to amp up the anticipation just a wee bit.
Yep.
All right. Shannon, please do the honors and read the next question.
Absolutely. Pitch an up-and-coming team that Shannon should consider entering into the teams tournament.
Yes. I asked them to get creative, potentially use a rookie, potentially not. I just wanted to hear a team that I've never heard of before. Since, you know, we are going to expect a team potentially that we've never heard of before going into the team's tournament. So excited to hear y'all's pitches. Now, last time we started with Chance. This time we're going to be starting with Marisol. Are you ready for your opening statement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have 1 minute on the clock to convince this lovely lady, starting now.
I need 10 seconds.
Ooh.
Adam the Coyote Collins. Marisol Lady Justice McKee.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Wow.
Okay, that's all. That's all. You're yielding the 50 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
That's intense. That's a lot of excitement for one team. All right, Chance, you also have 1 minute on the clock. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, starting now.
First of all, I'd like to say I did not, go full vanity project, put myself in the answer, so points right there. Second of all, what if you? Sure, I could have said Marisol and Adam. It'd be easy, and everyone would be excited for it. But what do I do on this show? I take you to places you never thought you wanted to go. I pitched a show about casual going to jail and freaking out at kids' menus, and I won. So the team I am pitching you is the Black Swans. That would be Mark Edward Hoyk and Claudia Duff.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Are you yielding the rest of your time?
I am yielding the rest of my time because that's all I need to say. Black Swans.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Black Swans.
You already got whipped out the team name, and I'm already mega excited. Shannon, the look on your face says it all. Are you excited to hear these pitches?
Yes. I don't even want to talk. Give me more. Give
us more. We can't wait to hear it. You guys have 4 minutes of open debate.
I want to hear, Marisol, I want to hear team names from you. Chance, you already covered that. Let me have it.
Oh my gosh. No pressure, y'all, but this is going to get awesome. You guys have 4 minutes to start debating, starting now.
All right. There's no vanity. Okay, sir. Excuse me.
Are we sure?
Oh, we are sure. Okay.
I didn't pick two Chance Ellisons for a team, so that's something I didn't do.
Well, that would be just sheer impossible. I know how badly you want to, though. It's okay.
I would be teammates with myself. That is true.
So I look. It's not even me. It is Lady Justice. She is a separate entity. So again, I'm going to refer to her in third person because she is all right, otherworldly. Okay. She would be the only choice. All right, that's cute. Black swans, that's adorable. That is really sweet. That did get me. I saw a visual of Hoik in a black tutu. But all right, the choice is clear. All right.
Is it clear though? Is it clear?
It is clear. It is clear. Let me say. All right. So Collins and McKee are two rookies with the sky's the limit. They've only got everything to prove. All right. They're coming in hot to the tournament. They're coming in motivated, and they're coming in on the same page as far as we can tell. All right. So this is a natural marriage here. This is a natural pairing. All right.
But as someone who has had some would say successful career in teams, I can say that something that is an essential element when competing in teams is unpredictability, which is something I think the Black Swans would have. Why? Because I think that their strengths would come in things that a lot of competitors are not very good at. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna give it away because in case Shannon wants to use that idea, feel free. But I know Claudia and Mark, like they are two crazy. They are two crazy people. And if you put crazy people together, I think that if they don't win the match, they'll scare the other team into losing. Whereas, when we look at Coyote and Lady Justice, sure, they work hard, but they're rookies. And we don't know, their success is going to further. The Lady Justice is going to beat Primetime. He's tough. Is Coyote going to swallow up the Outlaw? We don't know. He's a how many time champion? I don't remember. But not to mention that Hoik, 3rd round pick, we got to use him for something. And people want to see Hoik back in the Schmoedown.
Fair enough. But, this is not a point for Shannon to take. This is not the time for Shannon to take risks. All right. And you're saying not to take risks on rookies, but rookies have already had more wins than the two people that you're mentioning for the team.
Which is why you put them together. 2 negatives make a positive. And they'll come in and they'll win matches together.
I'm gonna check your science on that, but yes.
That's math. That's how it works.
All of that. I think that these are 2 wild cards, and I think 2 wild cards that people don't know is a more dangerous weapon than scare tactics.
Exactly.
That's a stronger strategy. Not only that, but Black Swans is great and all, but you've got a potential for an awesome name here with a Coyote and a Lady of Justice teaming up, and that is Furry Vengeance. Okay, I think we all know.
You're being named it after the movie make Brendan Fraser quit making movies.
Oh,
no. Look. Black Swan's got prestige. It's got Brandon. Everybody knows what it is. People get psyched. And who's a bigger wild card than Mark Edward Hoik? Nobody. I'm on the same faction as the guy. Even I don't know things about him.
Time. Shannon is shaking her head. Guys, I have so many feelings right now. Also, Patrick Harden is really quick to say adding 2 negatives equals a bigger negative.
Not if you multiply.
That's true. Not if you multiply. Okay, so so we had 2 really interesting pitches so far. Shannon, you're a manager of all these competitors that are being discussed. What are you thinking of these pitches so far?
I'm thinking either of these dream teams could come in and destroy a tournament, because Mark Hoik and Claudia Dolph was something that I didn't even know that I needed until Chance said it, but it makes perfect sense. And he brings home an incredible point about utilizing Hoik. I know Hoik, he wanted in the singles tournament. He wants to play. He's been in this league for so long now, and he just has not had, the stars just have not aligned for him. And I think if and when they do, he could do some real damage. And I love having him as a part of Korruption. It's unfortunate that things didn't line up for him so far this season. Now with Marisol and Collins, that little piece of unknown is such a great great strategy to use against teams full of people who are predictable and we know them. So either of these options would be so good for us. So I mean, holy crap, you're making this way too hard for me. This is incredible.
This is getting really very difficult to decide. So I'm excited for that. We still have the closing statement here in a hot second. What I would love for you guys to address is we did hear, the name would be Black Swans with Hoik and Claudia, which is a perfect name for the duo. I didn't hear a name for the Lady Justice and Adam team. So I'd love for you to talk about a potential team name, Marisol, but also I would love for you guys to talk about specific strengths and weaknesses that specifically that would help balance them out. Honestly, what specifically about these competitors would make them really work together as a unit? Like we all know, when it comes to teams, a team can have two of the most amazing competitors of all time, but if they don't work together as a team efficiently, it's just not going to happen.
Cough, cough, Tom and Paul.
Agree. I'm not gonna pretend to cough. That's just true. All right, guys. We are gonna be going over to we're gonna be starting with the closing statements. We're starting with you, Marisol. You please address our concerns and really wrap it up with a nice bow to get Shannon and our ghost judge on your side. Are you ready for the closing statement?
Sure.
All right. You have 1 minute starting now.
Okay. As far as team names go, said it before, I will say it again. Furry Vengeance. Okay.
Oh,
that
kidding.
that wraps it up. I think that works literally and incredibly ironically. It works on both levels. It's something that somebody who's a film fan will actually get, and it speaks to where the head's at of the players. One's a little furry, one's out for vengeance. All right. And justice. They all tie in. The other thing is that I cannot speak to the literal strengths and weaknesses of the two players in question, Mr. Collins and Miss McKee. But I will say that their vision, their motivation is the same. You know, the Coyote is singular in his vision, and so is the Lady.
And time. And that concludes your closing statement for the second question. I just want to clarify, you said furry vengeance.
Furry vengeance, yes.
Furry vengeance. Okay, furry vengeance. That is just weird to spell out. Okay, but I'm here for it. I don't know what it's referencing, but I'm excited to learn for sure. And over to Chance. You also have 1 minute on the clock to really sell us further on Black Swans. Are you ready, my dude?
Yes, I am.
All right, you have 1 minute starting now.
So, like you said, Hoik is needed his time to shine in this league since he joined. And Claudia, and you saw her match with Warfather, she outplayed the guy, and she still lost, which, put the sour feeling in her mouth. So what do you do with these two? You put them together, and you watch the magic happen. Why? Because look at what they've done in the past. I mean, Mark Hoik, his base of knowledge is just so incredibly wide. He can ace so many different categories. And you got Claudia. You saw what she did with musicals, a category that tons of competitors struggles with, including myself, freaking South Pacific. And yeah, I feel like that unpredictability, that like niche, that like wild card factor is what will make them real danger. And as far as McKee and Adam goes, look, like I said, it's easy. Of course, people would want it, but people don't know what they want until they want. Like I said, Shannon did not know she wanted Hoik and Claudia until I said it. Then we put them together. That we put them together, fans will want it. And as far as your name for Avengers go, it's bad branding. Should have gone with Black Mom's Christmas. The end.
You're right on the money. Okay. Okay, so that concludes our second argument today, guys. Now, I am going to be going to our ghost judge and Shannon in our private chat on Twitter, actually, to find out who they vote in favor of for this argument in particular. And also, guys in the chat, I know Jake already has that link ready to go. Please make your opinions known down there. Let us know who you think should win this debate. Okay, that was a hard one. Okay. So, okay, explain to me what Furry Vengeance, where that came from, Marisol.
It's
I don't know.
the Brendan Fraser movie that made Brendan Fraser stop making movies.
I mean,
I love Brendan Fraser. What?
No, you don't. No.
No.
Nobody loves Brendan Fraser.
the world does. Okay, as a
Money?
Brendan Fraser
How dare
fan,
you.
yes.
George of the
world does.
Jungle? How dare you, sir? Okay, that was a huge movie from my childhood. And also, I love George of the Jungle. It's a talking gorilla. He does karaoke at the end. Who doesn't love it?
He does do karaoke at the end.
And he was the best part of Looney Tunes back in action.
Right.
Yes,
action.
No, I'm all on the Brendan Fraser train. That certainly could be a factor in it. But no, I mean, I said furry vengeance works in both ways. You know, it encapsulates what the same page that the Coyote and Lady Justice would be on. And also, fun fact, it was an absolutely giant turd of a movie that came out in like 2008 or something like that sank Brendan Fraser's career.
Whereas, you know, Black Swans is named a prestige Oscar-winning movie.
No, we like the scrappy, hungry fight. Okay, all right. And furry vengeance is symbolic in having it is symbolic, and it means something. Nobody has ever said this until now. Furry vengeance is bigger than itself. All right, and it represents
literally nobody has said that till now.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's the beginning. We're gonna take it back and we're gonna spin it into the positive circles of the interwebs.
That's fair. I have to say, guys, just want to give you a heads up. We are in desperate need of your votes. We need your opinions known. We're going to give you one more minute to go vote in that link below, and that's going to help determine who's going to be the winner of this round. So just giving you a heads up right there. You guys have like another 50 seconds remaining. Now, there's a little bit of mention in the chat talking about not only George of the Jungle, but also the live action Disney adaptation of the Jungle Book with one of my childhood.
The Stephen Summers movie.
Is it Stephen Summers? I don't know.
He directed it.
Oh my gosh, Jason Scott Lee. Oh. Do you love Jason Scott Lee, Shannon?
I plead the fifth. I don't even know who that is. That's why I don't have him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The one
I
from
would
the
probably
90s, right?
I saw him, I'm sure, but
I mean, would you take that or would you take Brendan Fraser in a loincloth? Because Brendan Fraser looked, I mean,
Brendan Fraser
in the 90s too.
90s Brendan Fraser in a loincloth, and Brendan Scott Lee. That's pretty tough.
Isn't it Jason Scott Lee?
Jason Scott Lee.
Jason Scott Lee.
Brandon.
now I need to look who this
Jason
is.
Scott Lee. I mean, like I remember so many things. I'm Thai, and my grandma was so excited to see Jason Scott Lee on the big screen growing up, and as a result, I remember my grandma, she forced us to watch that movie like 50 million times, like over a summer, I swear. But nowadays, I'm like, I look back and I'm like, it is still one of my favorite, adaptations. People can talk about how great Cinderella is or Beauty and the Beast is all day, sure, but that movie is so solid. Lena Headey.
Yeah,
Sorry, Roka.
he doesn't do it for me.
Oh,
Sorry.
Wait, which one?
hurting my heart.
Jason
Hurting
Scott.
my heart.
Oh, okay.
I respect that. I respect that.
Is it this? Hold on, I'm pulling up a picture of him.
Rudyard. I think the full title was like Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book.
So authentic, it got the author's name.
Hey, that's the official one. That one's canon. All right.
Oh,
There's no other.
What a beautiful piece of man candy. Right
I mean,
there.
he was a babe in that.
A babe, a righteous babe. He's also in the upcoming Mulan as well. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all excited.
Maybe he'll
I
get
am just.
page and I'll be more interested.
That's fair. Okay. All right. We are going to be moving to the third and final one, debate tonight. And you guys, this is getting really, really intense. All right, for the third and final question. This is the third and final question means it's going to be the weird one. It's going to be the fun one, but also usually 9 times out of 10, my favorite question to see debated on screen. Shannon, please do the honors in reading the question.
All right. Your third and final question, Marisol and Chance. Hollywood wants to make a movie about the origins of the Korruption faction. Who should direct it?
Woo! Oh my gosh. Recently, there was like someone made a comic about the origins of Korruption, which made me so excited to see.
So cool.
Wasn't it so cool? Oh, it was so neat. I can't wait to see. Hopefully we'll see more of them here pretty soon, but potentially, or maybe in a movie one day. Let us hope. All right. We are going to be going to the coin to determine who is going to go first. Who is going to be on team our Lord and Savior, Team Guy, and Team Trader, Ben Bateman. Who wants to go be on each side? Marisol, which side would you like?
I'll dabble in the weird. I'll go for Guy.
Of course you will go for Guy. He's our boo. He's our boo. Okay. So, right. Chance is with Bateman. I'm going to flipping the coin. There we go. And it is Team Bateman, Team Trader.
Tails never fails.
Would you like to go first or defer for the opening statement?
I will defer.
Oh, that's a first.
Defer. All right. All right, Marisol. You're gonna be going first for the closing statements. The opening statement, the third and final question. Are you ready, my girl?
Yeah, sure.
All right. All right, you have 1 minute starting now.
Okay, so, all right, the origins of corruption. I'm making a movie about corruption, and you want somebody who understands. You want somebody who understands the origins of evil, but is going to look a little bit deeper, look a little bit past that, and pick it apart and really examine it and give it a 360 and the attention that it deserves. And is going to visit all possibilities and still keep it entertaining as all get out. And that is Mary Hannon, as far as I'm concerned. So that's my pick. And then we'll see where that goes from there.
All right. So you're yielding the last 18 seconds?
Yeah. If somebody wants to know, just for a reference of things that she's done, hasn't made many movies, but her biggest one on her filmography will definitely be American Psycho. She's also directed I Shot Andy Warhol and the notorious Betty Page.
That is one of my favorite documentaries overall. It's fantastic. Okay, great pick. I also supremely underrated. It's American Psycho for sure, one of my personal favorites. And over to Chance. You also have 1 minute on the clock for your opening statement. Are you ready, my dude?
I am.
Okay, you have 1 minute starting now.
So I think Marisol hit the right point, because what is corruption all about? It's all about being evil. And you need a filmmaker that really understands the concept. Again, like Marisol said, but you need someone who can do it better than someone whose biggest hit was in the 2000s and couldn't replicate it for the next 20 years. So I am going with a filmmaker who is still one of the best in the craft and is still celebrated anytime he decides he wants to get off his ass and make a movie. I'm going with one David Fincher.
Oh,
I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, okay, no more. All right, you are done.
I don't need to tell anybody who David Fincher is. Everyone knows.
Some people in the chat are really quick to say, what about Bong Joon-ho? That would be pretty cool to see. I also love everything that he does. All right. Okay. So we have 4 minutes of open debate as well. And Shannon, would you love to see a corruption origin movie one day for Hollywood?
Of course I would. It would be a blockbuster hit. We all know that. It would be amazing.
No kidding. I couldn't agree more. Who would you love to play you in a movie? Or would you be able to play yourself?
I would want the credit. I think I just want to play myself. Maybe once I, if I ever earned it, I would love to have You know, who's the what's her name from oh my god, I'm gonna from The Good Place.
Kristen Stewart, Jamila.
Yeah. I would love to see her. I would love to see her go on the movie side and be an evil little, because she's so.
You had to like CGI to make her shorter, but yeah.
Yeah. We have to make the movie magic on that. She would be an interesting pick. Everyone says Sofia Vergara, and that's the obvious choice. So I decided to not go that route.
Yeah.
Gotta get a really good accent, coach. If you're gonna go there.
No chance in hell. Just dub that shit. Just dub it.
I also think there's a Vergara being like mean. I can picture her doing little quips here and there, but I can't picture her being mean, for the role. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I haven't seen her in the right, movie. Okay. All right. You guys have 4 minutes of open debate. It's Mary Harron versus David Fincher. So you got to sell it. So you have 4 minutes starting now.
So like I said, you look at Fincher's career, what he's done in his life. He's someone who continually demonstrates he understands the nature of a psychotic mind and evil. I mean, you look at his resume: John Doe in Seven, Tyler Durden in Fight Club, Benjamin Button in Benjamin Button, Mark Zuckerberg in Social Network, and Amy in Gone Girl. He demonstrates time and time again that he knows not only how to capture the minds of the semi-demented, but he can make that incredibly interesting, and he can do that with the story of Korruption, and he will. I guarantee you, he would knock it out of the park.
All right. No, I mean, look, if this were a popularity contest, congratulations. Your boy Fincher would have this. Sure. Okay. He's been acting more, or directing more, which I won't get into the assumptions behind that. But I will say that this is not about. So he can get into the minds, and he can show some evildoers at play and the mind games that they go through. But he's one thing that he can't tap into, and he doesn't tap into very well, is the heart and the motivation and the humanity behind it. And that's something that Hannon's going to have him beat. She doesn't simply deal with psychotic characters, like flatly psychotic characters who are evil and pretty sinister, with not much else to their layers. They're calculating, they're shrewd, they're cold. She understands characters who dabble in the dark side, whether she understands people who are good people and bad people who are both in touch with the dark side. There's so much debate you can make about Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. And she understands that even if, like in the Notorious Betty Page, she understands, like, even when somebody gets caught into, when even somebody gets sucked into a world, like in that one, she gets sucked into a world of bondage, even though it's something that she's completely against, because she was raised like a good Christian girl, and she has a conflicted, rapey background. She understands how complex those origins are, and that's something that Fincher doesn't.
I disagree, because I think that Amy in Gone Girl, the perfect example of that. You can see how much like being in a bad situation just takes a toll on the mind and the psyche, and just takes really kills a part of you. And I think that's what you need, like, to show like Mike Kalinowski's like rise as a hero and then just downfall into just like sleek villainy. It's gonna be a brutal movie. It's gonna be a hard R, and I think you need to do that. And what do you associate Corruption with? You associate with this with the worst acts imaginable as far as the Schmoedown goes. And who is willing to go there? It's David Fincher. Now, Mary Harron was willing to go there, American Psycho, but has not done. Betty Page here, but has not done so since. And like, I hate to say it, but she's kind of lost her stuff. Her last two were not very good.
Oh boy,
I think that is disrespectful. One.
I mean, it's okay to admit when a filmmaker makes a dud. I deal with Christopher Nolan all the time, but I think that you need someone who's still working at the top of their game. And Fincher, even though he doesn't make movies very often, every time he comes in, he basically hits a slam dunk. For more or less, he hits a slam dunk. He always delivers really quality product. And I want someone with that consistency behind the story of the Korruption movie.
I understand the aesthetic consistency, sure, that you're looking for, but I do want somebody who understands. I do want somebody who understands the characters and the motivation more, and can go to those deliciously depraved places like she did in American Psycho and pull it back and understand, like in Warhol, or Betty
And
Page.
time. That wraps up our open debate. Oh, this is hurting my heart. Okay, Shannon, David Fincher, Mary Herron. What are you thinking so far of these some of these arguments?
Two directors that are responsible for some of my absolute favorite movies, namely American Psycho. I feel
Trying to play the judge. I know what you're doing.
God, Lady Justice, you are a pro at finding those heartstrings and just pulling on them. And Chance, you're coming in with some hard truths there, buddy. Such complexity and how they would both be amazing for a corruption film about our origins, because they both are so uniquely qualified to do it, to the point where like I could see it. It would be legit. It'd be pretty damn cool. I don't know. I'm stuck.
Okay, well, yeah, like you said, I'm sure not only are you stuck, but also our ghost judge is definitely in a very similar situation as well. Both of these picks are very great. I know, Marisol, you picked Mary not only because it focused on dark psychology and almost like an anti-hero focus in a lot of her stories in the movies that she directs, but also there is a certain warmth to a lot of the characters as well that, would translate well to the story of corruption. But like you said with Chance, like you said, David Fincher, he is an internationally acclaimed director. He's a consistent, amazing filmmaker, and you can't argue with those numbers, alone for sure. Now, Shannon, what do these competitors have to do to really guarantee your vote, to really sell you a ticket on this corruption, movie?
Oh man, they've already done so much. I just need a little. I need a little more, just a little more conviction out of you guys. Why? What is not so much what does this director mean to you, but what does it mean? What does this director do to corruption? How do they absolutely best represent us? And not, throwing aside my personal favorites as far as films are concerned. Why are they the best qualified to direct this film? What do they have in common as directors personally with our brand and our family and our faction?
Absolutely. Branding, obviously huge in Hollywood, huge for the faction in general. Let's see how it translates into these closing arguments. Mary Herron versus David Fincher. We are going to be starting with you, Marisol, since the coin did toss in Chance's favor. Are you ready for your closing statement, lady?
Sure.
All right. You have 1 minute to get everyone on your side, starting now.
All right. I might rehash a couple points, but just it comes back to what I said about the 360. She won't be one note in her evaluation of corruption. She will give people something to believe in, something to back, not something that only looks cool but might leave you cold and feeling hopeless on the inside, which is what Fincher's movies do a lot. You want somebody who can get you to. Fincher just has you believe that everybody's evil. You want somebody who can explain, flesh out the evil origins and get you behind it and inject it with heart and a reason and a purpose, and a humanity of the characters. And there's no reason to think that lady doesn't have another killer one in the tank. Don't discount the woman off just yet. All right. This is why you give them opportunities. This is why you give great storytellers the chances to tell great stories. And she's going to capture that for corruption.
When that wraps up Marisol's arguments. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is getting really intense. I'm scared. Okay, because I really want to see this movie. I would love to see this movie.
I don't want to do it.
All right. I don't want to do it. Like, why? I don't want to cry today. Can we just make it happen? Hollywood, call us. Call these people. All right, Chance, you also have 1 minute on the clock to really sell us on David Fincher directing this Korruption Origins movie. Are you ready?
Yes.
You have 1 minute starting now.
Like I said, Heron's best days are behind her, and she loved the consciousness so much that Marisol actually mispronounced her name twice throughout that round. Mary Hannon. But I will say, who's still around, who's still kicking, still making movies? David Fincher. And when I think of the Korruption movie, I think of something like Seven, where it's not just about what makes you, but about people's perception of what evil is. Like, do people write us off because they think we're crazy, or do people, try and sympathize with us, see it from our point of view? I think if he brings those same sensibilities to the Korruption movie, I think that he would do a really good job. Plus, look at all the cavalcade of actors he's got in a back pocket. We could have Brad Pitt as Mike Kalinowski. We could have some really talented actress as Shannon. I play myself because I get to be in the movie because I got him in the project. And I think that if you want to get eyes on this movie, you want to get, some really high caliber, talent, reviews, everything, you go Fincher. This is not even a choice.
And time, wrapping it up with a nice bow. Thank you to both of our competitors to really solidify everything for us. Okay, now both of our judges, Shannon and our ghost judge, are going to be sadly determining who won this debate. And it just hurts my heart to hear it. I'm just so glad I'm not the one determining the winner in this one, just because I can't still. But Shannon and our ghost judge are going to let us know in a private chat. But you guys also have to let us know your opinion. Go vote right now. We're going to wait a few minutes to really see how it's all going to go. Oh, man. Okay, Marisol, in a movie, who would you like to see cast as you?
Oh God, the choices are so limited. Just frankly, it's only one of three brown women who even are big enough, but
that's a whole conversation of itself.
So
Frida Pinto.
I would only be so lucky and honored. I want somebody with a little more talent than her. But she's no. That wasn't shade. That wasn't shade. She's literally one of the most beautiful women on the planet. So
I also want to add that you cannot definitively tell me that Andie MacDowell would not be in Mary Herron's movie.
So Chance knows how I feel about Andie MacDowell, so we'll just kind of leave it there. Suffice to say that Andie MacDowell will not be in the Mary Hannon version of the Korruption story. She would not.
You couldn't tell me that. You couldn't tell me that.
No.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Andie MacDowell?
There's nothing.
Oh no, I don't know. Someone explain to me. I don't know.
Even I don't know.
That may be a conversation for another time. Because there's nothing wrong with her per se. All right, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. My only gripe, which I'll tap on very briefly, is that maybe not the world's best actress. Maybe not. Okay. I'll just kind of leave it at that. As to who would play me.
Who's the other one you don't like?
I love everybody. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you don't. I'll think of it. It'll come to me.
Who would play me? I've always loved, just for sheer talent and just ability and just energy and looks, just how amazing she is. I love Rosario Dawson. I would love that. I would be honored if that kind of thing happened.
Have you seen the movie Kids?
Yes. Oh God.
She's really good in Kids.
Oh God. I saw Kids. It destroyed me. It broke me. And then I just cried in a corner for 2 weeks. But yeah, very powerful. She's great in that. She's doing a lot of stuff.
I randomly think about that movie and Ken Park randomly, once every few weeks, and I cry myself to sleep. And I'm like, no, I can't. So it was pretty intense. A really great debate overall. Shannon, I know you were a judge obviously this was the first time judging in this, which is crazy to kind of think about. What do you think of your two competitors debating overall? Are you proud of these competitors? Do you think they showed up to debate? Are you proud of your faction mates?
so proud of both of you. Oh my god. You both are like on such equal footing with your points and just the way you had all of your arguments already hashed out and ready to go, and you had a response for everything you guys threw at each other, and this is why we're on the same faction, because you guys, you're pros, man. Marisol, you're a rookie, but damn it if you're not a pro already. And Chance, you're so consistent. You're so consistently right about so many ideas that you have. It's insane. I think you guys put up a hell of a fight today. I think everyone out there watching should be very impressed, as impressed as I am with both of you, because that's not fun to judge. I thought it sucked, like, competing and debating, but it really sucks a lot worse being a judge, because that was, I mean, yeah. I feel like you guys are going to be neck and neck, and I have no idea which way this is going to go, honestly. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. Great job to both of you.
All right. Yes. Claps all around, guys. Super proud. So happy you guys came to play today. Now, guys, we have a winner. We're going to dive into it real quickly in the specifics of these votes. Now, like we said earlier, Chance won the first question, being what faction manager is Shannon most likely to form an alliance with? And I was excited. You guys got really creative. This question was in Chance's win for sure. Now, the second question, we required an audience vote because both of our because both of our judges here had a slight disagreement as far as who argued better. Now, based on that one, however, it was in favor of 71% of the audience vote. It was the Furry Vengeance.
Yep, of course.
Marisol did win that argument for question number 2. For question, the up-and-coming team that Shannon should consider entering the team starting Furry Vengeance, Adam Collins, and Marisol McKee. Maybe we'll see you in the future. I'm excited, potentially. All right, and the third and final question that we just brought up: Hollywood wants to make a movie about the origins of the Korruption faction. Who should direct it? Winning 2 out of the 3 votes.
Oh, it's close.
It is in favor of Chance Ellison, meeting, and our winner tonight, winning 2 out of the 3 arguments. It is Chance Ellison. How you feeling? Congratulations.
It feels good. It feels really good. Marisol, you played well. I knew I was gonna lose that you and Adam question. That's like it's no brainer. So I'm just gonna go crazy. I threw like darts at a dartboard, see what stuck. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah. Claudia and Mark, let's go with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie. I personally, the last question would have voted in favor of Marisol personally, not because American Psycho is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm obsessed with the book, but also I just want it more. I just do. It just sounds better to me. But also, I'm not a huge David Lyncher person. Personally,
but
yeah,
sure.
Fincher person.
Ooh, yeah. David Lyncher. What kind of movie would that guy make? That would be. Whoa. Yeah, wait, that's my answer. David Lyncher. I'm a person. Yes, David Lyncher should. Holy crap!
We can make directors in labs. Then we gotta do this again.
Sold.
David Lyncher. There should be like a director slice. David Cronenberg, David Lynch, or David Fincher, David Lean. Oh my gosh, how many? That's like a bazillion movies right there. I would be kind of into that for sure. Shannon, your champion right here, Chance Ellison. He has won tonight. Are you surprised? Are you not surprised? How are you feeling about managing that champion?
I can't say I'm surprised. I know he brings his A game. I'm happy that it was as close as it was, because Marisol is no friggin' joke, and it was tough to vote against either of them in all of these rounds. I don't like making these types of decisions. But no, I mean, Chance is a pro at this, and he's our little bottle rocket on this team. So he's got opinions, and he's going to shoot them right off, and he has no shame in doing so. But again, Marisol, lady. I feel like justice is gonna be served next time, because I don't think that you're gonna go home wherever you are. I don't think you're gonna leave the stream without coming up with another game plan here to take down Chance over here.
I knew Chance was gonna come in hot. I've had a couple. I've debated a couple issues with him, which we won't for the sake of time here. We won't dabble into. But I debated. I know he's pretty linear, pretty, pretty singular in his arguments and his vision. So I knew I was gonna have to go for the heart, speak for the heart, because he was gonna speak from the shrewd, calculating mind. I knew he was going to. So I had to tap into something the opposite of him. Alas, it wasn't enough to sway all the cold hearts out there. But I tried.
Not kidding. It was your first match here on Schmoebates, and you were going against someone that is, a veteran here at Schmoebates. So I couldn't be more proud and excited for you to debate not only so amazingly today, but you argued very consistently well. Now, Marisol, since it was your first time, just throwing it out there, who would you love to debate against in the future potentially?
Wow. Oh God. It would be hard to narrow it down. Anybody who really has the passion and the knowledge to back up what they're gonna say. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I wouldn't want anybody to waste my time. Oh gosh, I don't have a good answer to that. I could talk to anybody. I don't have a good answer to that. I'll probably think of one in 20 seconds, but there's just too many names in my head right now.
Well, if one specific comes to mind, feel free to shoot me a DM for sure.
Yeah.
And over to Chance, who would you love to debate in the future?
I don't know where I fall in the Schmoebate rankings, honestly. I'm not sure what everyone's records are. I'm not sure where I'm in the standings. But yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah, I would actually, now that I think about it, I don't have an official Schmoebate ranking sheet, but you know what? Maybe I have to get on that and just do better and make that happen here pretty soon. Guys, over in the chat, would you guys care to see a Schmoebate ranking? Kind of curious about that for sure. All right. Okay. So guys, that's it. That's it for today, but let me go ahead and reveal to you who our ghost judge is. Not only Shannon Barney, obviously, that was judge number 1, but judge number 2.
I got my guess written down. I already wrote it. See what it is.
Oh, okay.
Chance invented a game. I didn't even know we were playing. Okay. Oh shit! Where's my paper? No.
You have a guess, Marisol?
No, I don't.
Okay, no. And there they are. It's Mike. Mike?
As soon as I saw Shannon in the bedroom, I'm like, yep, Mike's the other judge. I even said it. Donna Mesh and Black Mom's Christmas.
Hey. Donna Mesh and the Black Mom's Christmas.
Oh, Donna Mesh.
Thank you so much, Mike, for being our ghost judge today. How did you like being our secret judge tonight and watching not only your teammate, but one of the rising stars rookies in the family going head to head today?
It was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. You guys, that's why we're the best team, man. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Not kidding. Great minds for sure think alike. And I got to know from you. You're an actor. You've been part of an awesome bunch of awesome productions. I got to know from you. What would have been your pick to be in a Korruption Origins movie?
Well, I said it in the chat, and that's why my vote went to Chance on that one. When I saw the question this morning that they were going to answer, Fincher was my first thought. So, so when he said it of the two, I was like, oh, Marisol had a great argument about the heart and the director being able to pull the heart, but Fincher one, man, he's just got that great. What I love about Fincher, he's layered. His films are like intricate puzzles and clockwork, and I think there's so much more to Korruption than just being a good guy and a bad guy, and there's so many layers. And yeah, Fincher creates those like an Affleck in Gone Girl. I don't know if you love him or hate him, or if so it's yeah, that was my bet on that one. That was it, Fincher.
Well, I know this was their first time on as a judge hanging out in the background. Did you guys like the new judging format? Actually being able to help determine the winner today? Or is it like a little scary having a little bit of extra pressure?
No pressure at all. Oh, pressure anyway.
It was a little bit.
No pressure.
I don't get
No pressure. Okay, guys, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, everyone in the chat. We really appreciate it, watching these amazing people not only judge, but also compete. We're just going to go ahead and wrap it up over here with Shannon. Where can we find you, see your lovely face, and everything you're working on?
All social media platforms at Oh My Barney, OHMY Barney.
There you go. It is in the description box. If you weren't able to write it down, just giving you a heads up. It is in the description box below. And over to Chance, current team champion. Where can we find you? Your beautiful face and everything you're working on.
Twitter, Instagram at @ChanceWars_91. And check out my podcast, Notorious by Chance. We are reviewing 7 this week, and we got a great guest lined up. In fact, the entire month of September, we're having a whole slate of guests come on, including, maybe someone on this panel might show up. Alex Damon's coming on, talk Mandalorian. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun stuff. And Notorious by Chance, the podcast and the YouTube channel. We'll be reviewing Tenet at some point.
And
once you drive to go see it, of course.
Once I do drive to go see it.
Low key, I feel like it might be almost a good time to go to the movie theater, just because if you are going to movie theater, chances are you might be one of the only people in the theater. So is it honestly, maybe a good time, or is it still a bad time? It's kind of weird. But over to Marisol, where can we see your beautiful face and everything you're working on?
Sure. You can find me on those social media things at Marisol_Mariah, MIRIAH. And on Facebook, floating around Facebook, of course.
Yes, I know you're a film student, so I'm excited to see what new stuff you're going to be coming out in the future, for sure. All right, Mike, you're doing 1,000,001 things at all times. DC movie news, you're acting, you're doing so many awesome things. Where can we find you and what you're working on?
Well, the big news is my big Twitter's back. My original Twitter, which got suspended 6 months ago at the beginning of the quarantine because I told Alex to jump off a bridge. And then it got froze because I was suspended, or then it got frozen, and then Twitter, the office was closed and I couldn't talk to anyone. Last night I randomly went on a different page on my computer and it said, hey, your account's restored. So at Mike Kalinowski, that's where it is. At Mike Kalinowski. I'm back.
It's about flipping time too. It took that's like the whole situation. I remember when you were talking about it, it's like bonkers. You created a whole new account and everything. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Confusing. Now what do we do? Do you keep the underscore? Do you get rid of it? People.
Yeah, I keep the underscore because that's where I'm going to tell Donald Trump to keep jumping off bridges.
Okay, so that'll be suspended.
Yeah, that's
as you should.
A fake picture would be Nike Malinowski. That'll be
Mark Kalinowski.
Yeah.
Mark Kalinowski.
Director of Black Mom's Christmas.
Director of Black Mom's Christmas.
And can we make that happen, guys? Can we set up a Patreon or GoFundMe page for that happen? Guys, let's set it up, you guys. Let's be good fans and set this up and get it going. Guys, I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this episode. We'd really appreciate it. It would be a huge help to us here at Call to Action. But you can find us on Facebook in the groups. You can find us on Twitter. I personally run the Twitter account and a whole bunch of places. But also, you guys, stay safe, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Wash those hands, guys. Be responsible, be awesome, and just keep watching movies. Directed by a bunch of people named David, apparently.
That's all.
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening, and bye.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye.
Bye.